I'm Chef Daniel Orr, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about Sautéing Off the Pounds project that I'm working with Dr. K on. And I've got a bit of a history. I was born and raised in southern Indiana, Columbus, Indiana, and I was raised by two parents that were kind of like hippies without the drugs. They did make their own homemade wine. They made homemade soap with oatmeal and stuff in it, and did all kinds of groovy stuff, had herb gardens and, all that kind of thing. I also had grandparents, all of them that gardened. On my mother's side, Grandma and Grandpa Kolb, they were real farmers. They were southern Indiana, German folk. And then on my father's side, I had Grandma, who was firstborn Polish American, and my grandpa was firstborn Scottish American. And they grew food for different reasons. They lived through the Depression, and they always had victory gardens from World War II, and so they all had a love for food, and we were a family that loved food and cooking and gardening, and I think that's probably why my mom and dad got together, but it's remained in the family. Even my brother down in Texas is still gardening. But that was just my start. I did work for a lot of different restaurateurs. I worked in 7 restaurants in France and Belgium, as well as got 3 stars at the New York Times for La Grenouille in New York City, and then I got Best New Restaurant in America from Esquire magazine for Guastavinos that I did with Sir Terence Conrad from London. And then a friend of mine, Lee Rizzuto, who owns Cuisinart in Waring and Conair, one of the Fortune 500 guys. He had, some of us have train sets to use as hobbies. Well, he had a resort in Anguilla. So he had his own greenhouses and hydroponic farmers and organic arable gardeners and Caribbean orchards, and I was able to develop a composting program with him and ran 5 restaurants in the resort, which also was a spa, so we did a lot of healthy spa cooking. And so that was really creative. And I also taught cooking classes down there. We had set up our own kind of kitchen stadium where people would come in and watch us cook, and then we'd serve them the food right in front of their eyes. So that was a great experience. When I got back to New York after that, I decided that I wanted someplace that was a little bit more laid back, and my dad was going through some age-related issues, and I wanted to move back to Indiana, and so I came back here and opened my restaurant, Farm Bloomington. And all during this time, when I did have a moment or 2 off, I wrote 3 cookbooks. So I have Daniel Orr Real Food, then I have Farm Food, which is the book about my restaurant, and then I have Paradise Kitchen, which is my Caribbean cookbook. And now we're working on this new book, which is going to be awesome, combining healthy movement and great cooking, which is going to be called Sautéing Off the Pounds.